Hello, beloved family. It is such an honor to be here with each one of you. Welcome to the Rainbow Goddess YouTube channel. I am Rosalie, and I'm so excited to share messages with each one of you today. I brought my favorite oracle decks, so I invite you to get comfy, grab yourself your favorite tea or beverage, and let's just settle in this space together. My highest intention is to bring forward messages that are most supportive for each one of you, that are uplifting, inspiring, encouraging, messages from the heart, messages from spirit that will provide deeper clarity and guidance for each one of you in your own lives, and to really support and nurturing the spirit and the heart connection and everything that you are moving through at this time. So just taking that moment to truly feel your heart, to feel that deep connection to your internal core. And just let's take a moment to breathe together. Let's just take that moment to connect or reconnect and feel the infinite spark of the divine within us expanding and emanating its radiant light like a sparkling diamond within your chest, within your core, and feel that radiant light opening and grounding all the way in to the crystalline core of the planet, feeling that love and divine frequency of all that you are moving through all the way into Mother Earth as we connect into her wisdom as well, the wisdom of the planet, the wisdom of the elements, of the rocks, the trees, and all of the divine elements of earth, air, fire, and water, as we also call them forward to support us with what is most needed to be shared today, and feeling that spark of connection continuing all the way up your pillar, all the way up until you connect with the heavenly frequencies, the expansion of the universe with all of the stars, feeling that infinite spark of connection igniting with all of the planets, the galaxies, and all that is, as we feel that divine oneness and beingness. We take a deep breath and we feel that moving into the body, grounding into the earth body, into all that you are, feeling that divine bridge of connection that you are between heaven and earth, that you are all of it, that you are the grandness of the universe, the grandness of the stars, and also the smallest of pebbles and the tiniest of insects, that we are all connected, we are all one, and feeling that happening within your own body, making that reconnection and connection through the heart fields, through the mental body, emotional body, physical body, and spiritual body, igniting that connection that I am one with my being. I am an infinite spark of connection and creation, and I am divine love, and radiating that out, inward and outward and all around you. And just sitting in that space of divinity, of remembrance, of love, of purity, of clarity, and just feeling that crystal clarity, that divine frequency moving through your heart field all around you like a diamond, clear quartz crystal, bringing forward the purity of thought, the purity of emotion, and the cleansing of any energies or debris or frequencies that are not in the highest resonance to the purity of who you truly are, to your crystalline core for being. And inviting in the cleansing, supportive frequencies of the sun, feeling the sun rays connect over your crown and feeling that light of source, that light of connection to the sun, warming your heart, warming your body, warming your spirit, and illuminating with divine light. And just feeling that radiating as that light of the sun connects to your core. Feeling that warmth within your belly. And just breathing in. And expanding that light, that solar sun throughout your being. That oneness, that golden light, that golden prana, that golden chi, filling you up like a warm, radiating bubble of light. And feeling that beautiful golden light connecting with the crystals within your body, and feeling that rainbow prism of light activating through all of your chakras, through all of your energy centers, revitalizing your energy, your light with this radiating rainbow diamond crystalline frequency. And just breathing that in through your lungs all around you. I am love, I am rainbow light. I am love, I am rainbow light. I am love, I am rainbow light. And within your own heart, asking to receive the messages, the downloads, the information, all that is needed to support you personally today. Receiving all of the guidance, all of the love, all of the nourishment that is needed for you as you open your heart to receive. So it is, so it is, so it is done. Taking a sip of your tea. All right, beloved. So let's pull a card for each one of us today. I have a new deck that I'm really excited to share with you all. This deck was given to me for my birthday from my beloved. It is the Sacred Forest Oracle. And I just love this deck. It feels so magical and it holds so much wisdom, and it inspires me. Every time I look at the cards, I just feel so connected to nature and the magic of the elementals. So I bring forward those messages today from our beloved elemental spirits, our beloved fae guardians, our tree guardians, our rock guardians, and all of our animal totems that would like to come forward today. I've got my 2 cats in the background making a lot of noise. So they're very busy in the background, bringing in their codes as well. All right. So, what is it that we most need to know? What messages or guidance would like to come forward for all of us today? What is most important to share? Just shuffling the deck until I feel the card jump out at me. Wow, this is really beautiful. So, the card that came forward is Eagle Spirit, freedom. It is such a beautiful card. And you can see all of the colors and the frequencies that are just pouring through this card. There's even a little Pegasus in the corner. Freedom. I really feel that this message about remembering to expand our perception, to soar to a higher vantage point, and to uplift our awareness to greater heights is really what is needed right now. I feel many of us are getting stuck in the density or the lower frequencies that are surfacing on the ground or on the planet. And I feel like the eagle spirit is reminding us all that we have wings to fly, that we can soar to greater heights, to gain clarity and to receive messages that are needed to be brought down to the planet. So it's that sacred balance. We can't always soar high in the clouds and stay there all day, and we also can't you know be on the ground all the time trudging in the mud. That we need to find that balance between receiving the clarity, the insight, and the awareness, and then bringing those messages to the earth, bringing them down. So to me, it feels like reminding us all to increase our frequency and to increase our vibration so that we can receive the higher messages, the higher clarity, wisdom, and the higher vantage point. And then remembering to bring those messages down, to bring them back down to the earth to do our work here. So there seems to be this imbalance, I feel, where we're not able to necessarily make that connection or that bridge, where we're either too up in the clouds or we're too stuck on the ground. So I feel like the eagle is reminding us to create that balance in our lives, to bring forward the balance when we feel stuck, when we feel like we're weighed down by the earth or by our experience, to uplift our frequency, to uplift our vibration, to soar high like the eagle. But then to remind ourselves that to come back down, to bring those frequencies back to the planet. So it's like this sacred dance of the cosmos and the earth, and the earth and the cosmos. How do we balance these two frequencies, these two energies, so that they weave together in our life, so that we don't forget that we have this grand gift of being able to soar high and to expand our consciousness, but to not forget to bring that down, to ground it down. And so this is really what I'm feeling, is that we're all becoming these masters of consciousness, of frequency, vibration, and of really knowing what we need to support ourselves with moving through these dips that we go through on the planet, where we recognize and can see that, you know, our fellow brothers and sisters are struggling and things are starting to get a little energetically heavy. And I feel those are the times that we need to be and hold the frequencies to bring the balance. So when things start to feel really heavy on the planet, you know, that is our cue to uplift our frequency, to uplift our vibration, to be a match to the higher octaves and levels that are available to all of us. Just so many don't know that they can shift their energy. They get stuck in the same energy, and then they plummet and they get so weighed down that they feel stuck. And I feel many of us are feeling that right now. And so it's to remember to shift the energy when we need to do something to support the mind, body, and spirit that's going to help you harmonize and rise above the density, so that you can be greater service to the planet, to yourself, and to each other. And so the eagle spirit is just that reminder that we don't need to stay stuck, that we don't need to stay in the density. When we feel it, we can actually, you know, recognize that, you know, maybe we need to do some yoga, or maybe we need to move our bodies, or do some breathing, or do a meditation, or connect with our heart and really feel that divine connection, or, you know, bring in a color ray spectrum that will be most supportive for us today. And then we can be like the eagle. We can soar high, and we can receive the energetics that are here for us, that we can anchor and bring into the planet. And again, remembering that you're free. Each one of us are free. We are not stuck. We are not we're not chained up to this, you know, experience, or to our fears. That all of that is really an illusion. So if there is that feeling of I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to move forward, you know, any of that, remembering that you're always free, that all of us have wings to fly and to soar. It's just the perception that we're stuck that makes us feel stuck. And so call upon the eagle spirit, great eagle spirit. Help me to fly high and to soar above the density, to soar above the feelings of being stuck, so that I may truly access and perceive the unlimited potential of my being, the unlimited capacity that I have to connect with the infinite realms of infinite frequencies and infinite vibrations and infinite solutions that are available to me. That I do not need to define my experience by what is physically in front of me, but that I can shift and soar high to elevate my consciousness to reach greater depths of expansion and growth. So I feel like we're all being encouraged to be the eagle, to fly high and expand, and be the way for our brothers and sisters who don't recognize that they too can fly high, they too can soar and expand their consciousness and grow, but we can be the example for them. Such a beautiful card. All right, so let's see what other messages would like to come through today from the Sacred Forest Oracle. That was such a beautiful message from the Eagle Spirit. What is it that is most important for us to know at this time? What messages, what animal totems, what guidance do we need to know? Feeling one card wants to come out. Here it is. Okay, so we got two cards that came out. The first one is Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go. And the other is Bear Spirit, healing. Hmm. I love the contrast here. If you look at these two cards, we've got two seasons. We've got fall and winter. And I think it's really appropriate given that where I am, we have just transitioned out of fall and well, really, it's begun to snow here. So it's more like winter. And even though the winter solstice is officially on the 21st, so we're sort of in this transition period. And it feels like many of us are letting go of a lot of things that are vibrationally not going to be coming with us when we move into this new season, this new um, era of change that is upon us. And I feel for many of us, it's very physical, letting go of things like the ways that we would do things or things that are really not serving us, or even just letting go of relationships or letting go of maybe your business or letting go of just all different things that are coming to a close. It feels like we're coming to this cycle of closing out. And so sometimes in the letting go, it can feel very challenging for many of us because it brings change. It brings that feeling of shaking things up a little. And for many of us, change can feel a little bit scary, a little bit uncertain, a little bit unknown. And so I feel like these two cards, the way they came out together from this transition from fall to winter, from, letting go of our leaves, letting go of things, letting go of ideas, letting go of ways of doing things, it can bring up a lot of feelings of insecurity. It can bring up doubts. It can bring up feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's next. I don't know who I am. And in reality, it's just really a transformation into a new phase of your being, a new phase of who you are. And it's the unknown factor that I feel makes it hard to let go. Because when we begin to release something, it feels like, what if nothing comes to take its place? It's, feels unfamiliar. And so I feel like that energy has really been present for many of us lately, just needing to release and detach from what we think we know, how we think things are going or where they're going, and just really surrendering deeply into the self and the shedding. and being okay with being completely bare, being okay with losing all of our leaves. And, even if it means coming to a stillness or a pause in our life where we actually don't have anything going on, where we don't have a project that we're working on, or we don't have anything specific that we're doing, because we're coming to this restful pause to take a breath. And this is really the wisdom of the earth. We go through these changes, these cycles every year. We have these changes on the planet. We see them reflected in the trees. We see them reflected in the changing of the colors. It's such a beautiful opportunity to relinquish that control in our lives. So if you're somebody who has a hard time with letting go of control, where you always want to have things like planned 10 steps ahead so that you have focus and direction, I think for many of us, we're being asked to like release all of that, to sit with what it feels like just to be, and to not have it all figured out. And maybe what we're actually doing is making room for divine will to work through our lives, to work through us. And that the human sometimes thinks that they need to always be doing and creating and figuring everything out. But in reality, we're being asked to just surrender and let go and release. And with that, we bring in this deeper healing, as this card, the bear spirit, represents healing. And it represents connecting more deeply internally. As the bear goes into hibernation come winter, and the bear knows when it's time to rest. The bear knows when it's time to really go inward and to connect to that space within oneself, that darkness, so to speak, that cave within, to really feel into the parts of ourselves that are needing rest or needing healing, or that are needing that restful pause, so that we can really emerge come spring as our most radiant and embodied selves. So in a way, I really love these two cards, because it's like there are aspects of our life that are dying, things that are dying, that are falling away. And it's really challenging sometimes when things just start to like fall away. And so embracing that journey can support you in knowing that everything is well, that everything is as it should be, and that these cycles of changes are to support us. And how can we nurture ourselves through that? To embrace the seasons of change, to welcome them in, and to love ourselves as we are, and to release all of those expectations that, as things are falling away, that we need to immediately replace them with new projects or new things. But maybe we just give ourselves that moment of grace to release, to pause, to reflect, and to go within. Hmm. Such beautiful messages coming through for all of us today. I would like to pull a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck. I often work with this one quite a bit. I just love it. It's by Kyle Gray. All right, so switching decks now. Seeing what messages most want to come through for each one of our beloved brothers and sisters who are tuning in and watching this video. What is it that we most need to know to bring support and clarity and upliftment and encouragement for all of our beautiful brothers and sisters? All right. Let's see. All right, so the card that came through is Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. It's an interesting card that came through. I feel with this one, it's probably tuning into the energetics that are coming up around relationships, given that this time of year, we are more likely to be connecting with family as Christmas is this month, and there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be gathering with their family and connecting with their brothers and sisters. And for a lot of us, this can bring up a lot because not all of us feel received by our family or understood. Many of us hold a lot of different perspectives and ideas compared to our family. And that can bring up a lot of conflict and disagreement when we don't see eye to eye, or when there's disagreements in the family or arguments. So it's interesting this card came up. I'm sure, some of you watching this can really relate to feeling that this time of year can be challenging because of, certain family members that maybe we don't always get along with or agree with. And so I feel like this card is asking us to really to see the divine in each person in our lives, that sometimes we can get caught up in the needing to be right, or the needing to prove, or the needing to get caught up in the conversations of, well, this is not right, and this is what I feel, and this is what I think, and you're wrong, and in the duality of it all. But I think that the Peacekeeper card is really reminding us that we can find the divinity and the love in each and every single person. And when we look for the light, or we look for the God spark in each person, we can hold them in the highest light, regardless of their beliefs, regardless of, their shadows or their wounds. How can we really hold each and every single person we know in the highest light? And when we do that, it shifts things because we no longer feel the need to engage in conflict or conversations that are, based in the lower mind, but we can actually uplift and change the energetics of that connection with that person, where we can actually see them for the truth of who they really are. And in doing that, we hold them in a higher um, love, which enables them to be seen for who they really are. And that is, I feel, what every single person on this planet really, really desires, is to be seen for who they really are. Even if people present themselves a certain way, even if they seem like they're grumpy or confrontational, or they come off as, argumentative or challenging at times, I really think if they could speak to how they really feel inside, if they could really communicate their true feelings, I think every person truly just wants to feel seen and loved for who they truly are, not for their ego or not for their flaws or their wounds. And so I think the greatest gift that we can give people is to say, I see you. And I love you because you are a divine aspect of source. Even if you don't see yourself that way right now, or even if you're not able to fully access that within you, or even if your heart is closed and is struggling to connect with the love within your being, I can hold that higher light for you through my awareness that you are an aspect of source, and that love within you is who you truly are. So I feel like that was what this card is expressing, is to not forget that each and every single person is a divine aspect of source and holds the purity and innocence of the child, even though it may not look that way, that we can remember that we are all that. And that is what unifies us, that is what connects us, and that is what holds us in the oneness. That is how we choose unity. And we can release the judgments. We can release the preconceived notions that this person is just their stubbornness, or they're just their emotions. There's so much more. And I think when we can hold space for them to see themselves that way, and if we can hold that for them, then that gives them a doorway, an opportunity to grow beyond their archetype, or um, the mold that has been cast for them. Because do you ever think that even people who are known to be, grumpy or argumentative or um, hard to be around, do you ever think that, like, deep down, they're probably tired of being that as well? And if we can just hold them in the highest love and see them for the truth of who they are deep down, the spark within them, then maybe that is the window for them to be something different. Such a beautiful card. I pour myself some more tea. All right, beloveds, let's pull one more card for our closing message today. What is it that we most need to know? For all of those tuning in, what is most supportive? Ooh, hmm. I've never actually pulled this card before. It is Direction Guardian. Choose your path. Hmm. It's so beautiful. So I feel with this card, it's reminding us that as we are going through this process of releasing and letting go of things, and we are shedding the things in our life that are no longer serving or coming with us as we move through into the new year. I feel like this card is showing us that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us, a lot of paths that we can take and different directions that we can go. And this card is reminding us that we can choose the pathway that we are most in resonant with moving forward, that we can really choose any direction, that there is limitless possibilities for us to go right now. So, whatever is most calling us forward is the path that we are meant to choose. When the opportunity presents itself for us to make a choice or for us to decide what we want to do next. And it will be obvious, it will be presented to each one of us that we can choose where we want to go and what we want to do, how we want to serve, how we want to show up in the world. And I feel many of us are going to be choosing our path, moving into the new year. When we start to feel the momentum begin to pick up and we start to feel the inspiration, the ideas, the downloads, once we've taken that time to really be in stillness, be in peace, be in integration and hibernation. What I feel with this card, it feels like new energy opening up after we have taken that time to really be. And it feels like we're going to be flooded with so much ideas, potential, things to do. And for many of us, it may even feel like, oh my gosh, like which path am I going to choose? What should I do? Like there's so many options. There's so many things to do. There's so many ways that I can go about this. What should I do? And what this centerpiece really looks like to me is your heart compass, reminding you to follow the heart beat of your own soul. What is going to draw you closer to the core of your being? And that is always the biggest test because there's so many opportunities sometimes that look really great. But if they're not for you, not really in the highest alignment for your soul and your heart song, then they're going to lead to dissatisfaction or feelings of incompleteness. So when we're choosing something for ourselves, we have to really feel deeply into it and ask ourselves, is this for me? Is this most in alignment with my heart and my soul? Is this what is calling me from the deepest places of myself? Is this really what my soul came here to do. And you will feel it, you will know. And it's really important this year that we don't follow someone else's lead, that we really, really get clear on what it is that we want and what it is that we want to do and who we are and who we want to be. This is what the energy of 2024 feels like to me as I'm feeling into this. I'm seeing us all move into this stillness right now, this, December energy, this needing to go within and to release and let go and purge and just be with oneself, because that energy in itself is so important. Because if we don't take that time, then we don't really know where we're at. We don't really know what we're aligning to until we take that time to sit and be still in the silence and receive. What do I want for myself this year? And how am I going to open up to the greater depths of my soul and the greater depths of my being through my choices and through my actions and my decisions? So knowing oneself and taking that time to really be with oneself is so important right now. Because look at all of these possibilities and options that are going to be opening up for you in the coming new year. And which way will you go? It'll be easy for you to decide if you've really taken that time to be with yourself, to know and be true to yourself. It'll be obvious to you, your path, because you have taken that time to really be with your soul, your heart, and that internal world. So that internal compass will guide you. But for others, there may still be that confusion come the new year because they don't know who they are. They don't truly know what motivates them, what drives them, what excites them, what invigorates them. So take this time now to really learn that about yourself, to really write down what lights you up, what excites you, what ignites you, what inspires you, what brings you joy, what brings you peace, what brings you greater love and expansion. And bring more of that into your life. And you'll see the pathway that is most for you. For some of you, it'll be the lion. For some of you, it'll be the hawk. For some of you, it'll be the cow. For some of you, it'll be this little angel. Only you know. And all paths are equal. There is no less than or greater than, or this person's path is better than this person's path. They're all perfect because they're all designed uniquely for you. But if you're following a path that isn't for you, it's not going to feel fulfilling. It's not going to feel supportive, and it's going to make you feel stuck. Because it's like trying to walk in someone else's footsteps, and their feet are not the same size as your feet. You're unique in your own expression, in your own embodiment, in your own being, that whatever someone else is doing, it may be similar to your path, but everyone has their own path that they need to carve out for themselves. And this is what it means to be a creator being, a co-creator with the universe. And for many of us, that's a challenge because we've spent most of our lives trying to follow the same path as everyone else. Our society has structured it that way, where we have been given this map of this is what the roadmap to success is. And yet we all seem to follow that roadmap, but we all end up in different places, and not all of us end up being successful. And that's because we are always meant to create our own map, that there is no universal map that everyone is meant to follow. And there's no one way of doing things that is perfect for every person. And we learn that after we go to school and we do all the things that society tells us to do. And then we're like, why didn't it work? Why didn't it, you know, why am I not happy with my career, with my job, or with my decisions? And why do I feel so disconnected from it all? And it's because if we don't get clear with who we are and what makes us us, then how do we know what is going to most ignite our souls and most light us up? And sometimes it's a whole lifetime of figuring that out. Sometimes it's not going to be like an overnight thing where we're like, yep, I know who I am. I know what I'm supposed to do. And yeah, it's very clear and obvious to me because the journey in itself is that self discovery. And we're so unique and multifaceted that we're always evolving and changing. And so sometimes letting go of things that we thought was good for us and pivoting or having to release a project that was aligned for us 2 months ago, but now isn't in resonance, that's okay. Because we're here to follow the guidance of our soul, whatever that is, and whatever is being asked of us, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. It's powerful and beautiful. And it's what makes life so interesting and fascinating and complex. There's no simple answer, even though it is simple to follow the light of your own heart and to follow the light of your own soul and to allow that to guide you forward. So beautiful, beloveds. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, for receiving, and for allowing my heart to ignite in my passion, which is to share these messages with all of you. I love you so much. And please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and if any of these messages resonated with you. I love reading the comments and hearing from each one of you. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you all the most beautiful day filled with love and supportive energies from my heart to yours. Namaste.